Hey Morgan, today is, what is today? June 21st. And here's the old Tricaster. I just wanted to go through with you the process for getting graphics loaded now that we do things live and we put graphics in as we're doing them. So I've just turned on the Tricaster, it booted up, and now I get to choose a session, which hopefully you can see that. These are the sessions over here. I typically, you don't have to make a new session for each time you do a show. And this 2020 April 5th one works pretty well. And by the time you do your thing, there might be a more current one. There's one for June 14th, which I attempted to do Friday, but that one didn't function as I expected, so I'm reverting back to the April 5th one. So you choose the session. Oh, and by the way, I bring my graphics in on a thumb drive, which I have installed on the front of the machine here. So it is installed. So when you get to this screen, you can either start live production, or I need to manage. We're not going to create graphics, but we're going to manage files. So we go to manage. Then over here, the selection is stills. Whoops. Stills. And so we're taken to kind of a Windows interface window here. My little thumb drive is called TinyWin RD. Isn't that cute? The local folder that I put graphics in is called FBC slides, and there's quite a bit of junk in here. I really need to clean this out. I also need to use the keyboard to access some of this, so I got to pull it over. I've got a bunch of announcements and stuff in here, and it's just getting a little cluttered. I intend to clean that up. So normally there shouldn't be all that much stuff in there. So let's go back to my thumb drive, and I've got it by date. So today is June 21st. First of all, I need to put, RJ is preaching today, so I need to move his lower third over to FBC slides. And it's there. So now I've got the live stream graphics, which are the sermon graphics. So I've got June 21st live stream. Put it right there. This might take a second because this is a really cheap thumb drive. It goes fairly slow. And then I've got one slide for June 21st announcement slide. So I've got live stream graphics and announcement slides. And hopefully they've copied. Let's go back to FBC slides. And I can see that I have a June 21st live stream, I have a June 21st announcement slide folder, and I have a Voorhees lower third. So I think I've successfully managed my stills now, so you can just close this window, the X up at the top right. And now we can go back to click the live selection and then start live production. Very exciting. So, as the Tricaster starts up, there are DVRs, digital disc recorders, on Mr. Tricaster that we use for our graphics. In this particular setup, there are different ways to display the screen. This is how this setup goes for that. What was that, April 20th session. That's the word I'm trying to think of. So I like this setup because we've got, preview, I've got a scope, I've got a vector scope, which I don't really need, and there's program, and the other display is just a full screen of program. So I've got my buses along here, so I've got program, I got preview, and I've got two different DVRs working here. So DDR1, which is here on the left, are my announcement slides. And DDR2 are my sermon graphics. So what I'm going to need to do, there's still got last week's stuff in it. So I need to clean out DDR2 because we're going to do a sermon this week. So what I do is I just jump down here. There's a little elevator button on the right. I select the first sermon graphic I want to get rid of, then go down to the last, shift select, right click, and just remove. And so now in this lower DDR, I've got, I don't need this Bible drill promo update video. We did that last week. Part of the reason things were weird last week. Okay, so down here, and the DDRs play back stills and videos. So I've got some lower thirds, I've got the open, and I've got the credits. So that's all nice, but I need to add my graphics for this week. So there's a plus sign. Let's move this in here. There is a plus sign at the bottom left of this thing, and this is how you add content to either DDR. They both have a plus sign down there at the bottom. So move that a little closer. Yeah, all right. There's a little glare, but it's not too terrible. So in DDR2, I go to the plus sign. I navigate up to FBC slides. The slide selection is here on the left, so FBC slides is right here. This will mimic the file structure you see. So I've got June 14, as you can see, FBC slides. I got some old crap on here because we haven't been updating the slides like we're supposed to. There's June 14th live stream. Here's the June 21st announcement slide, which I'm going to add to the other DDR in a moment. And then I've got the June 21st live stream slides. Now, for some reason, the graphics appear twice. They appear as these little thumbnail placeholder things that look to me like a flower, but then the actual graphics appear also. You want to load the actual graphics. I mean, that seems, I don't understand why the flowers appear there, but they do. So again, you can just click the first one, shift click the last one, and click OK, and they get added to the DDR. So now they populate in here. By the way, these are PNGs. I create these as PNGs, so they, the lower thirds and sermon points and sermon title, the transparency will work. And so now I've got these guys loaded in here. I still need to load RJ's lower third, so let me get that. So I'm going to go to the plus sign again. Let me find RJ's lower third, which this is a very somewhat challenging. Alright, now I'm scrolling. Again, I got too much crap on here. Where are you, RJ? There it is. Voorhees lower third. Click OK. Boom. So now I've got that ready. I need to add, well, I don't have it ready. We're going to arrange these in a minute. I got to add today's graphic to DDR1 for the announcement slide. So I go back to the plus sign. There's only one. Okay, here's the June 21st announcement slide. It's Father's Day, so you select that. You click OK. It really doesn't matter where this goes. For the announcement slides, I like them to play for 30 seconds. So you select the slide, you right click on it, you go up to duration, and you select 30 seconds. That just means it'll play for 30 seconds. So now these guys are ready to play, and the little play controls down here at the bottom of each DDR for your videos. So we'll play those in just a moment. But now I need to order the sermon slides. So first thing up is the open, which needs to go first. So you can just click and drag the slides or the videos in the order you want them to be. I've got a Joe Ziegler lower third. I now want RJ's lower third. I don't need Keith Pugh. He preached last week, so we'll remove him. But I got Voorhees up here. So I'll just drag that back to the top. So now I've got the open, Ziegler lower third, Voorhees lower third. And then it's a matter of putting the slides in the appropriate order. Now I tried something different this week. I numbered the slides, because normally I have to sit here and, I've got scripture references, I've got sermon points and stuff, and I have to put them in order, because I don't want to be, rummaging around in this DDR during the actual service. So, I need to now order things. So I numbered them, and they have a number in the DDR, which I just noticed, and this may have messed up my whole thing. But so the first thing in here, and the lines go, left to right, and then they start over. So I've got the open, Ziegler lower third, and I don't know if you can see this, but the Tricaster assigns a number to each thing. So the open is number 1, 2, 3, but I've numbered each slide as a number. So notice there's a 10, 2 dashes, and then a name. So in theory, I should just be able to reorder these things by that number, which now will be the second number, and put them in order. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Move this back over here. Cheapo camera. Tiny tripod. Okay, and so interesting that it starts at 10:11. Oh, you know what? It's that silly computer numbering thing. Okay, so there's 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I've selected those, shift select, and I move these up here. So I just need to go to, so I need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I need 1, 2, and 3 would be a kind of a cool thing. And where are they? So this is what goes on. This is what gives me, a fair amount of stress every week. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So maybe this numbering bit is not the greatest idea. Otherwise, you sit there with the sermon copy. Aha! So there's number 1. It's like an Easter egg hunt. 1. So now I need 2 and 3. This would all be avoided if I just put a 0. All right. So there's 2 and there's 3. But not. No. All right. So let's just take 2 up here. So usually the first graphic is the sermon title. So there's 1, there's 2, and now 3 is at the very bottom because of the silly computer numbering scheme. So there's 1, 2, so 3 will go right here. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, and there's the credit. Okay, so I've got the things in order, theoretically, if my logic works out. So now a couple of things I need to do to get ready for streaming. First of all, I need to scroll this back up to the top because we're going to, start with the open. By the way, these windows that display here in the Tricaster all have different functions. So currently, we're looking at the DDR function, but you see this term audio mixer here. If I click that, we become the audio mixer. And the only thing I've got up right now is input 1, which is the master from Randy, and DDR2, which is where the open and close play. So those are the only two sources we need audio from today. So I click on DDR1 again, and now I'm ready to just play these things. And I've got it set to loop. So we play this, and I punch up DDR1. Hopefully you can see that. And now we're playing the announcement slides. So everybody in the building now is getting, hopefully, the announcement slides. Now for DDR2, again, you single click either a clip or a graphic to select it. Then when you're ready to play it, you just hit the play button in the bottom of the DDR, and it begins to play. And if I punch up DDR2, we see the open, right? Okay, and I can stop, single click off it, go back to it with a single click, and it queues up again. So a couple of things about putting the graphics in. Here's the switcher. So here's the program bus. Here's the preview bus. To take the graphics, there is a we're doing downstream keys. So I've got DDR2 is set up as downstream key 1. So if I select a lower third graphic here, and then I punch DDR or downstream key 1 take, it pops up Joe Ziegler superimposed over that. Okay, so it's a downstream key. I have set up DDR2 is downstream key 1, which I did over here. This is the downstream key bus above the program bus. So I've set up DDR2 for that. And this button either takes it or fades it. Downstream key 1 take, downstream key 1 auto trans. So that's how I've set up that. And let's see, if I put up a full screen graphic and do like and push the auto trans, you see we fade to that. And then I'll push it again, and we fade back to the slides. So the downstream key occurs over whatever's punched up on program. It's downstream from program. That's what a downstream key is. So that is the graphical element of getting ready for live stream. I want to show you the live stream settings, which typically you shouldn't have to adjust, although there is one adjustment you have to make. So up here at the top, there is a stream/encode button right here, and there's a little gear to the right, and when you click that, it opens the streaming/record configuration. We use Vimeo, and notice there's a little gear, and this goes, by the way, for all of the Tricaster stuff. Typically there will be an input or something, and there's a little gear, and that's how you adjust the settings there. That's what we're going to do. So if I click that, the little gear, the connection name is Vimeo. You have to enter a title for each day. So, and that appears on the stream. So I'll just change that to June 21, since it's June 21. I'm going to refresh this connection. So the login and all this business for Vimeo is already set. I've already set that up. Notice there's a sign out button. So if I hit that sign out button, I would have to log in again. So we're already signed in. It's very convenient. Once you get all this set, once you type the title in there, and I'll just close this window, and the Vimeo stream box is checked. So I will close that as well. So what that means is that now we're ready to go. If I go up here and click this stream encode button, typically at the appropriate time for the 11 o'clock service, I will click that, and when it's streaming, that stream encode button will turn blue. And I'll try to remember to record this thing when we actually go live. So the stream encode button will turn blue. A lot of times I'll have to click it twice when it's actually time to go. I don't know why that is, but just be aware that sometimes the first time you click it, there might be it just might not do anything. So wait 10 seconds or so, then click it again, and there might be another 10-second delay, and then it should turn blue and a little counter will appear, meaning you're streaming. So that is basic setup, the weekly setup that we do, and this has taken a little longer than I expected just because I'm having to narrate it. It normally doesn't take this long. Hey Morgan, this is the, sorry, let me turn this down a little bit. This is the, of course, the 8:30 service, which we just kind of put on the screen. I'm talking to Morgan on video, or anything. I was talking to him. Anywho, the other thing we've done is we have integrated the Tricaster with a computer upstairs through NDI. We can talk about that later. But the signal for NDI comes, I've got it set for downstream key 2. So our graphics are downstream key 1 right next to it on the left there. And downstream key 2 is right there. The little green bar, which you can see shows up as the graphics. So the way you take those is the little fader right there, and actually I suppose I could use the very same buttons that downstream key 1 and downstream key 2 right here, but I typically do it right here. So anyway, so you push the fader, it's in, you push the fader, it goes out. Thank you.
That have become before the ones.
Hey again, Morgan. RJ's preaching today. We're in the 8:30 service, so it's not as critical for me. So just wanted to go through actually putting in the graphics, right? So you single click them in the little DDR right here. Then when you're ready to take them,
our passage this morning, I think it would be good for us to ask
you get ready to push the take button here.
Would be, what can believers expect
What
in this life?
Can believers expect in this life, right?
In this life.
Then you take it out. Then you queue up the next one, right here.
Those who trust in Jesus for their salvation can look forward to
I got it set in the preview up here so I can see it.
With the King of all creation.
And then you put it in at the appropriate time.
Enjoy a life well lived on this planet.
So that is the essence of putting in the graphics.
Enjoying the privilege and responsibility of sharing the good news.
So it requires a fair amount of paying attention to the sermon. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you, because I won't be able to do this at the other services because I'll be busy. So yeah.
Look with me again at
Thank you.
18 and 19.
Oh, here we go. Hold on.
If the world hates you,
yeah, there we go. Putting in a graphic.
Hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love you as its own, but because you are not of the world,
you just follow along.
you out of the world. Therefore,
and I fade the slides in and out.
The structure of the original language here suggests more than merely
take it out when he's done, and then that is putting in graphics.
In fact, instead of using this word if,
queue up the next one.
That we could use the word when, and it could be translated when the world hates you, know that it is hated me first. It says as if Jesus fits his disciples down.
Hey Morgan, getting ready to hit the live stream button here at 10:45. So just want to show you what time it is. Getting ready to do that. It's right up here. So I hit the stream encode button. You'll see it turns blue. And the little timer counter begins to move. Hey, it did it for the first time. Then just to make sure we're live, I go over to the laptop, which I've got on the Vimeo page. And might take a second. You got to play it though. It buffers for about 30 seconds, so we're about 30 seconds behind. And Should pop in any second now. That is assuming, yeah, we're still streaming. And there we are. So, we're live. And that's it. So, there you go. Now you've seen the whole Megillah. Okay, now we got to go do this third service here. See ya.